That's the whistle to commence the game. Salim tries to find Amankwa Bayfi. Now Salifu Ibrahim can't get to Bayfi. It is Linda to take the corner, bends one in. Felix Che has punched the ball away. Drive from Salifu Ibrahim takes the deflection, but the Mediama goalkeeper has stayed down. Salim Adams now for Hartsabok. Is falling into the box for Hamza. Here is Otanga, but his effort has drifted wide for a goal kick. Now Daniel Lomote, he wants to cut in and shoot, but it's blocked by Winimi. Mediama coming close. Sidibe and Kamara Dini not communicating. They should be talking to each other, Sidibe and Kamara Dini. Salifu Ibrahim is looking for space to shoot, and his effort. Amwa goes to Bite. Benedito Tete shoots, and it's straight to Sharif. No problems for the Atabo goalkeeper. Salifu Ibrahim sends one in, controlled by Linda, but taken over by Mante. He's finally handing possession to the Phobians in a very cheeky manner. Salim steps up. It is Salifu Ibrahim with a killer. Just over the top for a goal. Good delivery from Salifu Ibrahim. Salim made the attempt, then stepped back. Salifu takes it, and it just goes over the top for a goal kick. Switches to Fatau. Fatau shoots, cleared by Agbesima. He's giving away possession. Now Fatau up against Befi, goes past Befi. Fatau sends a cross, but there's nobody. Here's Kamara Dini. Now Bernardino Tete brings it back for Mante. Here is Manuel Mante. And Aban goes into the side net. That was a big chance for Manuel Mante. What's the movement from this angle? Poorly taken. Here is Evans Aduma to Mante onto the path of Fatau. Swings in across. Fatau wants to drive forward, but Aban lost it. Out the ball quickly, swings into attack. Felix is up. Amwa sends the ball in, looking for Sidibe. There's a foul as Aban goes down. Amwa shoots. What a goal! Powerful drive! Spectacular goal from the Amwa. Puts Mediama ahead in fantastic fashion. Mediama Sporting Club in the lead through Kwabna Amwa's thunderbolt delivery. And goalkeeper Sharif have no answers whatsoever. Was a real good hit from Kwabna Amwa. defenders should be dealing with it appropriately. Goalkeeper made a man. Left off the hook. I've seen Kakari behind it, and Kakari swings one and does. That's good goalkeeper. Here is Bernardino. Aban shoots. That's the second for Mediama.
And the celebrations full flight. Mediama getting 3 points, and the second goal against Hearts at the Takwa Park. Their new stadium is way. It is ready, but it's left with the final touches, as it were. But this second goal, I mean, he had so much space to take his time and pick his spot. People was wondering how his defenders did not intervene. And look at this, it bounced. Well, it didn't. It was straight into the net. And just was off or backing off, and unsighted, he was beaten even before. He didn't even have a chance to dive. So Mediama back to winning ways, getting a 2. The very interesting score lines all round. Look at Tanoba beating Adriana Stars. That's a setback for Adriana, who are trying to push, for the title themselves. Gold Stars after beating for Africa. I mean, they would want to use match, as I'm sure that is a bit of a setback for them as they prepare to face Zamalek in Egypt, and then of course hosting them for Tamale United, putting a stop to Nation's unbeaten run there. It was a tight game and just a single goal in that. And Real Tamale United will keep their hopes of survival still there, but it's so tight for all the teams. And this evening, with that, gunning for the title, weren't they? So there you go, confirmation there. It is Kumapem Apembeba. They'll be taking on Nsoatreman. It's a big game at the Babayara Sports Stadium. Evening kickoffs normally bring us really good football, and the crowds should, after they got a draw against Bichim in their last game, and their coach Ogun has promised something better. Hopefully he will start talking to us post-match and pre-match. Anyway, two gentlemen here in the studio, our own commentator extraordinaire, Prince Annan. We've roped him in the studio to give us a bit of a different vibe. Prince, it's good to see you. Of course, Edu is also here. More Baraka de Salah. Meat. And then offer. We say meat. Now meat are different meats.
Offer there's after 9 o'clock, so we just have to do some small sitting. We were around.
You said that last week.
Yes. The last time I met him there, I'm already hearing somebody.
Oh, I see. It's on outside side.
Oh, Nanedo is not a good man.
Really alive.
So I'm sure today, Thursday evening, it will sit. We are approaching Friday, even though tomorrow is a working day. Yeah. We will try to do. Then we end up like how we did it last week Friday. Like you mastermind the BBI Kama, so tomorrow the BBI also.
Prince, I think we should concentrate on the game. But it's great to have you in the studio. Yeah, let's start with you, Prince. It's I don't know. I mean, you should tell us. Yeah. Is this one of the most competitive Ghana Premier Leagues we're witnessing in I don't know how many years? You're on the ground commentary, meeting with the club owners, the players after the match, the vibe, the fans. What do you think?
Yeah, thanks. I think it's been quite competitive so far. We've seen some cagey encounters. We've seen some difficult games at some of the venues. And of course, it's also brought the best out of the smaller clubs, as it were. Hearts are suffering. Kotoko have suffered. Accra Great Olympics are suffering. So it tells you that it looks like there's a trend change. Performance, especially the bigger teams. Dreams have set it all, up and down, especially with their performance in Africa. So at least it's given the other African countries a set, as it were, to take a look at what kind of quality the Ghana Premier League has. And if a lot of people the Ghana Premier League is poor, I beg, because we've seen some quality matches, we've seen some quality players as well. Match day in, match day out, we see a lot of revelations, So I think that on the whole, this season has been very competitive. It's been fair but competitive. Of course, some fans will not agree, depending on the clubs in which they support. They feel that sometimes it goes different ways, and they would want to either blame the referees, or they want to blame the fans, or they want to blame the players for not having a very good day. But fortunately, by the kind courtesy of StarTimes, Max TV, the whole world has been able to see exactly what our Premier League is made of. And I think that for once, I can't say that if those who are struggling at the bottom, we've seen some very good games from Karela, from Real Tamale United. Individually, they've also provided some players to look out for in the season. And the table will tell you a very good story. The last time I was here, I remember we spoke about mid-table, the 33, 32, 31 points. That battle is still there. And I'm sure when you walk us through the table, we'll have a fair idea of how tough it has been.
It is very tough, yeah. And just quickly to talk about this table, I mean, for me, there are two things that stand out here. Asante Kotoko is one of those. They are preparing for a big game in Confederation. Prepare well, and at the same time get themselves out of this hole, so they don't themselves getting towards the end with about these matches to go. Hearts of Lions still in with the chance, but look at Real Tamale United, the two of them, and Dreams are the only ones that could give them a gap if they win the next. Sure. And that would mean either Karela, that zone. So that bottom there, and to be fair, it's not actually too safe for Lagos Cities and Great Olympics if the teams below them pick up 2 wins and they fail to do so.
Sure.
It's very, very tricky for these top sides.
And it's one of the reasons why the management of Accra Great Olympics have not slept since their match against Bechem United. They feel that something urgently has to be done to the team because they're looking at a precarious situation. Gone are the days when, by the start of the second round, fans of Accra Great Olympics will go to the stadium with calculators. So if we lose and this one wins and this one loses. But Accra Great Olympics has been competitive, and it's difficult to tell exactly why the latest slump, because spoke to management committee member Mr. Sammy Wellington. He did indicate that yes, we found out that we were not scoring goals, and so they brought in strikers, but it looks like striking abilities seem to have dried up just a bit. In their game against United, few chances were created, but they did not bury those chances. And in the second round of the Ghana Premier League, burying your chances is game. Exactly.
So Hearts played a good game. Hearts were not, what's the word to use, overridden or outplayed. They were in the game, even at they lost 2-0. So you've got to convert your chances.
That is why most of these supporters are comfortable with what Abubakar Ouattara is doing. 3 games in a row, Hearts of Oak has lost.
And they are comfortable.
They lost against Amates, lost at home to Bibiani Gold Stars, and now Mediama.
And they are comfortable.
But they are not complaining about the coach.
Okay. But
so it tells
who use the word comfortable? I'm pushing you to say.
The thing, they will get the best out of this team, especially the playing body, it will be next season. So from now to the end of the season, let's try to maintain, our pedigree and our stardom on the league. And most of the others are looking for. So at last 3 games, any big pressure will be on the coach. Losing to Samates, I hope he goes stars. And so it means 5 games. The only win is they pressure on you when you win one game in 5 games. Kotoko are complaining about Prosper Ogum because they are struggling to win the game in the Premier League. Will be on the coach, but it looks like under Abubakar the team is playing well right from the start. Obiang is a house of major problem is the goalkeeping department. They have a goalkeeping problem from Richmonai to Wechidata, and now the new goalkeeper in the post. It tells you in the summer the way they spend an amount of money to buy centre forward. House of Folk brought in Junior Kaba to this country. They were paying him $5,000. The highest money a footballer has taken in his local scene after Samoajan. So, if you bring a player like this and pay him $5,000, it's equally good like bringing a goalkeeper and paying him somewhere around $2,000. So, you bring the bank. Why don't you go to Mediama? I'm looking for Felice. You go to Brekum Chelsea or bring such a Gregory, a good goalkeeper. You go to Samates, Kofi Ba, a good goalkeeper. Great goalkeepers in the local scene, you can get some for House of Folk team. So, I think one major problem for House of Folk is the goalkeeping department. After the Nisquatter had a red card, the last 2 games you've not been playing for House of Folk. It tells you they don't have a proper backup for the Nisquatter. You can see right from the left back position, there is a major problem for House of Folk club. And it's one area they need to sort things out. The right back situation is quite okay. Michael Ampedu, Yawamanko, it's okay. After Kelvin Osesibe has been injured before the end of the second round, you can see a problem in the central area for House of Folk. Winnie is not a bad player. David Okwafane is not a bad player. The captain Kofi Abesima is not a bad player. There is something in Kelvin Osesibe club, and they need to work. You know, Kelvin Osesibe, you know, bulky defender, Nkomu, nonsense type. But Winnie Kofi Abesima is the, you know, the liberal type, young boy with flair, you know, yeah. Gently, if you assemble 2 central defenders, so one of them need to be a little bit bulky and to be that kind of defenders now. Nkomu type will be. Then, Frimpong Manso type, Joseph Hendricks type. You need at least one of them in your team. And that is what Kelvin Osesibe was bringing to the House of Folk defense. So, they need to sort that department and make sure things will work for them. For the midfield, no problem. They don't right balance in terms of, but they want to partner him has been problem for House of Folk. So they've identified 1 or 2 problems. I'm sure for comfortable they kind of play, you know, about giving us, but work on that for next season.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be pressure on the big teams, especially after spending so much. And have acquitted themselves well. Mukwala is a nice played to an extent. Great Olympics. Adriana, they're always expected to be there and about. Which other teams are a lot expected really pulling their weight? It's the Nsoatreman.
Adriana.
Yeah, Accra Lions, who surprisingly lost by, you know, they've been playing perhaps one of the best footballs we've seen this second round. You know, Heart of Lions. So there's a lot of pressure on these so-called big boys.
It's expectations. I think that basically the homework hasn't been done well. I'll take a cue from what Nanedu said a while ago. Accra Hearts of Folk have no. Yes, we have a problem in the goalkeeping department. A young goalkeeper with Accra Hearts of Oak now. He's called. We saw in action 2 3 before he crossed carpet to Wafa. He was with Brekum Chelsea. In fact, he was a thorn in the flesh of the then #1 goalkeeper at Brekum Chelsea, Gregory Obengseche. So he had to be loaned off, and he came to West Africa Football Academy, and we saw his prowess. Now, this young man finds himself in the camp of Accra Hearts of Oak, but I've not seen him on the field of play. this is a young goalkeeper who is tried and tested. Of course, unless there is an issue or a problem that we may not know. But I'm thinking that if you think or realize that is what the problem is. Accra Hearts of Oak have played in a couple of friendlies, especially when they went for the break after the Samatex loss. What are some of the things that are not feeding or are not doling out such information to the fans so that they have a fair idea of exactly what is happening? But quite apart from that, again, the identification of the problems is one thing, but how you correct the mistakes or the problem is
a game where, it was the first game back at the big ground. It was a story of missed opportunities. Kotoko had so many chances, didn't utilize it, and then Mando Heart of Lions took over, got the confidence, got that goal. They hung on and they won. Brilliant goal there we just seen there. And Hearts have also shown promise. But just as you expected them to really push for the title, because look, if Hearts had continued winning, they'll easily three top four.
When you look at this particular season, Ghana Premier League, in fact, in the last 4 years, apart from season as Asante Premier League, about 4 games to Kotoko winning league already. The rest of the 3 seasons in the last 4 years, anytime echo to the last game before we see the winner. How competitive the Ghana Premier League has been. Look at the season Hearts of Oak won the league. It was their game against Kotoko in Accra. Had in Accra season now. Samatex now nations are fighting to come back. And their next game, Ediana, in the last 4 years, probably the season as Kotoko won the league and Anane and Ponsa. The rest of the 3 seasons has been very competitive in terms of who won the Premier League. It's how these teams are prepared for this particular season. In fact, when you look at the level of competition in the playing body among the various teams, the level is super. Now, the senior Premier League, the league top scorer over 10 goals. It tells you the level of Premier League that we are having in this country.
It's very
Defenders are being Obia.
We can borrow an FA Cup
Absolutely.
slogan.
Obia born on homebody. Obia is trying to do something to help to get top scorers in their league.
Especially home advantage. One share if you don't pick up points
before the end of the first round.
Right.
So your top scorers are the snooker is still in. It tells you how our defenders are so much promoting for this particular season. So I think this particular season, the league has been very competitive.
No doubt about
I will not be surprised as it stands now between Samatex and Nations, one of them.
Yeah, with the matches remaining, it can go. I mean, Nations lost and Samatex drew. Samatex continue on their unbeaten run. Once upon a time, Nsoatreman, who were 9th, were up top 4. Look at them. They did beat Kotoko though in that game. So that confidence that they can venue all together. However, Nsoatreman, as I said, 9th ahead of mind you. Kotoko this at home, and I a lot of are left. So Kotoko and a couple of there as we surprised find themselves at the. These two sides, Kotoko have beaten them once and they've drawn once, and Nsoatreman in their latest engagement pipped Asante Kotoko by a goal to 0. Changed the statistics and at their earlier were offside, but it stood. They honest, a good run for their money, and that was the eventual winner.
Well, on a very good day in Nsoatreman, you can't take anything away from them. They've got some quality in their team, as well as the experience, as it were. But Kumasi Asante Kotoko playing at home this season has not been the best of seasons for them in terms of their home invincibility. Out of the 18 clubs, Kotoko is bottom in terms of points amassed at home. Points at home, and it tells precarious when they're home fans. So Nsoatreman will come into this game looking hale and hearty, but for Kotoko, and there you see their arrival as usual. Every time they arrive at the Baba Yara Stadium, there's a lot of pomp and pageantry. Whether the team is in good spirits or not, they have one of in the Ghana Premier League and always give them the encouragement. But if you take a look at their performance so far, it's not the best. Obviously, the fans would not be too happy about it. I'm sure the agenda for this evening will be a win and nothing but a. And of course, this should bring back a lot of respect. Support family. It's only up to them to ensure that the right things are done on the field of play and they do not allow their opponent to run at them. But Nsoatreman on any day would want to come and show exactly what they are made of. And like I said, they've got some quality in there. Isaka, for my money, is one of the hard rock defenders you would find on the league. Nijashi Bote will be in the team. Maida will also be in the team. And again, that's the grand arrival of Nsoatreman. And yeah, again, if you take a look at the score lines for this week, it looks like almost all the teams in the central part of the country won their matches. Brekum Chelsea won. Indiana obviously lost their game. Looks like some positivity running. Nsoatreman would want to do the same this evening in a couple of minutes. They rightly pointed out, they started the season very, very well. It was a whirlwind start for Nsoatreman, but somewhere along the line, they've dovetailed, and it looks like Maxwell Kunedu, last time we had a chat, he says, yes, they lost some key matches at home that they shouldn't have lost, although they also managed to pick up some valuable points away from home, and they can only hope and pray that it would pick up as they go along.
Yeah,
they had a very good game in the MTN FA Cup quarters.
They did.
And they feel that it's set for this evening against
I mean, people, but we saw Manaf stepping off the bus. He's one of a few other players that Maxwell Kunedu can call upon. And Maxwell Kunedu has been stubborn when it comes to playing the Big Four, including Haas and Kotoko. He's got a very good record. Yes. One of those coaches who knows how to navigate teams against Asante Kotoko. So it's not a foregone conclusion. It should be the tactical prowess of Maxwell Kunedu. And look at that. The L's, the red is
is going to put a lot of pressure on Kotoko to come out of the tunnel and ensure that at least the first 45 minutes gives the supporters some hope in terms of what they can do.
And even scoring 2 goals against Accra Lions, Nana, it wasn't a guarantee for them to win. They still lost. They conceded 3 in Kumasi.
And that was the game Kotoko scored beyond 1. You know, when you monitor them this particular season, 1-1 situation. So it was the game Kotoko were able to score 2 goals at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, but they still lost that game to Accra Lions. And when you monitor team being coached by Maxwell Kunedu, when he's coming to Kumasi, he comes with a lot of confidence. Even in the year Kotoko won the Ghana Premier League, Maxwell Kunedu came to Kumasi with Legon TTC. They won at the venue. So it tells you anytime you are coaching a team to play against Asante Kotoko, or a special taste in playing against Kotoko. So it makes things difficult for them. But when you look at the lineup today, some changes are in. You know, Cedric Ado, the player who was dropped from the under-20 camp, is starting today. Stephen Mukwala, the last game they played against Bechem United, he was coming from the bench. Today he's starting. So it tells you a lot of changes in the Asante Kotoko team. The same as in Nsoatreman. Sadat Mohamed is starting. Stephen Dio is starting. So it tells you both Maxwell Kunedu and Prosper Natogun, I would believe they have to pick the maximum 3 points in today's game against each other. So it's a big game coming on in Kumasi. But still, I think Kotoko to get the maximum 3 points. If not, pressure will be on Prosper Netogum and the technical team. Because last few games that they've been playing in the Ghana Premier League, they struggle to get the maximum 3 points. They need to do everything possible to get the maximum 3 points today.
Yeah, it looks like they play well, just like Hearts of Oak. They just cannot convert those chances. But unlike Hearts of Oak, Kotoko seem not to have consistency in the patterns. Hearts have been very consistent with a high tempo and levels since Ouattara came. It's just that especially in the last 3 games. Kotoko have been inconsistent. Sometimes they look terrible. Awesome. Against, they make the opponents look awesome. Against Accra Lions is one example where they allow the opponents to basically dominate them.
But yeah, don't you also think that maybe that is the problem? The other teams have started to read the game of Kotoko, of Hearts of Oak. So they go into the games and the fans have a lot of, give the players a lot of
in other
hope
words,
and the support.
Tactically,
exactly.
We need to.
So I don't want to use those words in asking a question, but does it look as if the likes of Abubakar, the likes of Prosper Ogum have gone flat on ideas? Because the opposition is reading their game, the opposition is playing well when they play against those teams, and the opposition is taking their advantages when it comes.
And I mean, look, these players, we've not heard of Mfege for a while. I mean, he came back from injury. He's supposed to be fit, but he's not been featuring. And of course, the coach has the final say. Nanedu, what's the situation with some of the players who were playing so well consistently for some time?
I think it's lots of, Mfege is struggling in recent times. When you look at Kotoko's first 11, Danlad Ibrahim in post.
Danlad is back now.
Danlad is back in the post. He was in the post against Bechem United.
Right.
And consistency on that department. Justice Blay.
That's enough. I mean, we're just speaking to what we're seeing on the screen, at the moment. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Justice Blay, Sibi Desi Mukwala, Enoch Morrison, Isaac Kopon, Cedric Ado, Yusuf Nudin, Baba Yaya, Andu Sintimenu, Nicolas Osebonsu, and Imano Kote. That is the first 11. And when you look at Nsoatreman, Sadat Mohammed is also warming up. You can see him. You can see the player warming up. So it's a team coming. Impossible. About 3 points.
But Nanedu, just before you wrap up, and let's make a quick reference to the starting lineup again.
He's a 16-year-old guy.
Yes. Yeah. He's one of the guys Kotoko should watch out for.
16 years old.
Yeah. He's smart, he's quick, he's fast. He was the one who was responsible for unlocking, the defense when they played in the MTN FA Cup.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. He's one of the few players to watch. Yes.
16-year-old.
Yeah. Togbo Foster.
Akpatogbo
Foster.
Yeah.
I see.
16-year-old are introducing into the Nsoatreman team. Quality player. They need to watch out for him.
No doubt. Unya. Afro and Aneko.
That's good.
So they have experience. There's no doubt about it. So it's not a fluke that they were doing so well at the point in the top 4. It'll be great to hear from Max Okunedu, which we will in a few minutes. And then of course Akpatokpo. Who's that? Akpatokpo? Foster. Yeah. The first name is a bit of a mouthful. 16 years old. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how he copes as well. Quick one on the AFCON futsal ongoing in Rabat, Morocco. Ghana won, Zambia 0. We'll keep you posted on the full time, but that's good. Ghana have a good chance of getting to the finals in this competition, futsal.
Very, very important. And, from this morning, I saw there are a lot of people from the Football Association giving them goodwill message, posting them, and the kind of thing they are doing around. I'm happy they are leading by a goal to know, and we are hoping they will go far in this tournament. And it's one tournament that a lot of Ghanaians and people around the Football Association are following them keenly and see how things will go. They will get the maximum and see how things will go.
No doubt about it. We wish them the very best of luck. Futsal and beach soccer are linked together. They just combine the two. All right, let's go to Baba Yara. And the coaches are standing by to talk to Nana Dakwa Jesse.
Good evening. Good evening.
You're still in search of your first win in your last 5 games.
Yeah, you are right.
How big a task is this one against Nsoatreman?
Yeah. It's an enormous task, but it's not beyond us. We've done it before, and we can do it today.
Your home form this season have been a problem, particularly amongst the fans, where you've suffered 3 defeats, drawn 3 times, and won 5. You think it's time for you to start making home points really count in the remaining league games?
Yes, Nana. I think this is the right time for us to turn things around and make the fans happy.
Bukwala was benched in the other game against Bechem United. He comes in to replace. He's been your main source.
Yeah, it was a touch. I think we need him. Yeah.
Be fair to Kotoko to say you are not title contenders anymore with the remaining league games.
Is that opinions are like noses? Yeah, that's your opinion. But to me, we can still do something.
Will you beat Nsoatreman today, especially after that defeat you suffered at their home grounds at the Nana Kuna Park in the first round?
We are here to give them a run for their money. They've beaten us once at their home. So I think it's the right time for us to also pay them back in their own coin.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi Maxwell, I like your fashion sense. Very nice outfit for the evening's game.
Yeah, thank you. That's Q&A for you.
With the club.
We hope so. You know, we prepared very well. We know that it wasn't going to be easy here. I mean, we've lost some points home, and we have no choice than to come here and try to also, you know, snatch some points home. The league is getting difficult match after match because the second round, everybody wants points to at least better his stance on the ladder. We know Kotoko is a good side, but they've been having some issues recently. Let's see if we can capitalize on that and also try to create something out of it and get some points back home.
At a point, this side, the Nsoatreman team under your guidance, were regarded as genuine title contenders, especially in the first round.
Yeah.
What has happened in recent games?
Yeah, we had some challenges at home, and I think we've corrected it, and we are getting back on track, but it hasn't been easy. I mean, gradually the boys are getting back to themselves, and let's hope that it goes well today, because we've really very hard.
Struggling defensively, I check on my statistics board and you've considered 20 goals and scored 19 this season. That's a problem for your side, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we've been conceding goals, it's true, but there are numerous chances that we are able to also create. If we are able to convert them, I think there would have been a balance, but we are not able to fully convert our chances that we create on the day. On it, we are always on it, working in goal, sure that the stress or the front runners get enough confidence in front of goal. We create more chances in every game. By converting them becomes very, very difficult. So let's hope that today it goes well and we'll get a couple of goals.
You met them already this season. You beat them in the first year and the pre-season of
the best. Always, you know, it makes the game interesting. So we're not going to sit back for anything. We also need the points. So if they come at us, we go at them.
Then you've opened up and playing in this kind of formation, I guess.
Yeah, attacking football.
Yep. Coach Maxwell Kunedu, Sporting, as he said, very funky, light purple. He says to have to nick from Coach Oklu as perhaps still title contenders. I think their fans would not want to concede that they are not. Mathematically, they but that would mean the two have a bad slump between now and then. What do you make of what Oklu and then Max Okunedu said?
Between Samatex Nations and Asante Kotoko, I think it's more than 10 points. It's more than 12 points. So it means they have to drop at least 4 games. They have to lose at least 4 games and Kotoko or has to win 20. Samatex and Nations. Look at how they've been managing to get the maximum 3 points at home, especially. And when you look at the run of form Kotoko and Hearts are in, I must admit that, you know, Kotoko and Hearts is out of this particular season's league. I don't think they can win it. It's between Samatex and Nations. One of them win and get the Premier League.
Oklu was evasive. We didn't say yes. He just said, "Well, that's what your opinion."
Personally, I don't think Kotoko can win this year's Ghana.
That's fine. Which so. Prince, you share a similar sentiment?
Even if they can, it is going to be very difficult.
It would depend on the
circumstances. Especially the point they would have to go.
And
other results as well.
And Samatex.
Other results as well would also
look at where Kotoko is.
You know, but it's
12 points. Games to
that the management of teams like Nation they don't sleep. Credit where credit is due. They have worked so hard to get to where they are now. I'm not saying that Kotoko and Hearts haven't worked hard. No.
But even in their hard work,
exactly. So you see that the resolve is rather with the smaller teams to make an impact. There are things that are happening in Samatex camp. There are things that are happening in Nations camp. You have no idea. 2 days ago, I had the opportunity of speaking with head coach of Aduana Football Club, Yawa Champong. And Yawa Champong believes that, look, it is not for him to say that this season we're taking it or we're slacking. It depends on the teams we play against and the kind of points we collect. So at the end of the day, you realize that, yes, you may have big guns there who want to say that, look, we have a stake in the claim. But how do you lay claim to that stake? That's the question you should be to reach those higher levels. But the current last couple of matches and picking up just a draw in their last match day out does not augur well to give one the impression that this is a team that wants to go and win the league. No. I think that for the bigger clubs, it is for them to rather hold on to what they have and ensure that they put their house in order for the next season. But for this season, I would want to agree with Nanedu to the extent that, look, Samatex have their noses in there, and so has Nations. The season in which Aduana won the league, that was the 2011 season. How many people gave them a dog's chance? It was just a 1-goal project. People only realized Aduana's prowess in the second half when we're getting to exactly what's happening now. Nsoatreman started well, but it looks like they faded off somewhere along the line. Maxwell Kunedu has given us the reasons. Aduana also had their nose in there, getting in the goals, as it were. But then, all along the way, Kasim Mingo-Lukante was just building up the points. You know, and Coach Nuhu was also doing same, both at home, that is for Nations and for Samatex. But especially for this evening's game, you look at the players' body language, determination, etc. You are tempted to think that, look, Nsoatreman are here to cause us. They would not want to go, even if they have to go empty-handed. It is not going to be an easy encounter for the Porcupine Warriors. The Porcupine Warriors would rather have to lift themselves up, increase the tempo of the game, read well, on more openness on opportunities. And that's what the fans want to see. And the fans, obviously, as loyal as they are, will be at the Babayara Stadium. Support even of a supporter. You know, you don't support when the going is sweet, but you must also show for
that it will be a tough game. It is. It Mubarak. Dakwa JC. Enjoy the first half.
Evening in Ghana, and from all of us here at StarTimes, we say Eid Mubarak.